Let's make a cold process soap. First, I am mixing my oils, butters, and lye water solution until emulsion. This is going to be the first layer in a 3-layer soap. So here I am splitting off just a little bit of this soap batter into another container. The larger container is going to be red and the smaller container is going to be green. After I add my colorants, I am mixing these. And then I'm adding my fragrance oil and I am mixing the fragrance in by hand to keep this fluid. And then I am pouring that green soap right into my red soap batter, and I'm just pouring this in and I'm not going to mix it at all. I just want it to be a natural swirl. And then I'm grabbing my large slab mold and I'm pouring this soap right into my mold. After my first layer had set up, I am then mixing up a second batch of soap, and this time I'm adding some pumice. Pumice is excellent for exfoliation, and the one I am using is an extra fine pumice, so it's really great for sensitive skin. After I have that all fully blended, I am adding my fragrance oil, and then I am mixing this by hand to keep this second batch fluid. And then I'm pouring this second layer very carefully onto my first layer of soap. And I'm pouring it over a spatula to keep this layer from breaking through the first layer. Next, I'm mixing up my oils for another batch, and this is going to be for the top layer of the soap. So if you remember, the very bottom layer was red with green swirls, and the very top layer is going to be the complete opposite. It is going to be green with red swirls. So I'm splitting off just a little bit of this batter into a smaller container, and the smaller one is going to be red, and the larger container is going to be green. And then I'm adding my fragrance oils and mixing them in by hand. And then I'm pouring my red soap into my green soap. And then I'm pouring this soap batter into my soap mold. And again, I'm pouring it over a spatula to make sure that this layer doesn't break through that middle layer. And then using a skewer, I'm just creating a little swirl design on the very top of the soap. And if you're wondering what scents I used for the soaps, I used 2 different ones. The bottom layer and the middle layer are scented in tomato leaf, and the top layer is scented in basil. I call this my gardener's scrubby soap with that pumice and the inside. This really helps you get all that grime and dirt off of your hands, whether it's from gardening or painting or whatever you have on your hands. It'll help you. The pumice really helps remove any dirt and grime. And I love to garden. And one of my favorite smells from the garden is the smell of a tomato on the vine or just the tomato vine. So this is such a great summer kitchen scent, and mixing it with the basil, the soap smells absolutely wonderful. So the next day it was time to unmold and cut this soap. I used my log splitter to cut this huge slab into 4 individual loaves. And then I used my multi-bar cutter to cut the loaves into individual bars. And this is what the final bars look like. So we've got the green with the red swirls on the top and the red with the green swirls on the bottom and that pumice layer in the very center. I will most definitely be taking one of these soaps home with me once they have cured. This is just one of those must-haves for my house in the summer. These soaps are heading to my curing racks for the next 4 weeks. They are available on my website at eartherella.com, and they're only available for pre-order. So if you pre-order them now, they will ship the week of June 2nd. I hope you love my Gardener's Scrubby soaps as much as I do. Thank you so much for watching.